Good morning and welcome to the U.S. Open of Tennis here in Midland, Michigan at the Tennis Center. In our pregame show sponsored by Covenant Healthcare, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala. Mike, first impressions when I walked into this tennis center were wow factor.
It really is, Jeff. It is absolutely a gorgeous complex. Lots of courts inside, a bunch of courts outside. They even have some clay courts here at the Midland Tennis Center. So what a great opportunity for the kids of Bay County to have their tennis tournament here at the Midland Tennis Center.
And a great opportunity to get this tournament done before the excessive and oppressive heat will hit later in the day, because they've got 16 courts available and there's no other facility in the area that can come close to matching that many matches at one time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jeff. This will knock a whole bunch of hours off this tennis tournament for the boys. They'll get a lot of tennis matches in, and they'll get this complete, maybe in 2 or 3 hours shorter time than it would have taken if they had it at two different sites. Initially, we were going to Glen and Garber, but they came over to Midland, and thanks to the Midland Tennis Center for helping us out here in Bay County.
Well, it's great to have both at once, because then as a coach you can watch both sets going on at one time. But this is just another effort that we're striving for at Bay County TV to make sure that all sports get the love and attention they deserve.
Well, I can guarantee you this is the first tennis match you and I have ever done, and we've been doing this a long time. But it's fun to see these young men out here from Central, Western, Garber, and John Glenn. We're going to watch them, and we're going to try to get them all on and have a little bit of fun. And like, we made the commitment, and we're here, and very excited to be here.
I'll make you the John McEnroe of the day, and I'll be Jimmy Connors. We'll role play as the day goes on, but it's going to be fun. We're going to get as many matches in as we can this morning, and before the oppressive heat hits the two middle-aged guys that'll be doing this event, we're looking forward to having a great time. We'll be back in just a minute as our pregame show, sponsored by Covenant Healthcare, continues with our special guest, Joe Ricard.
Where did this rash come from?
Hold on, let me see. Could be bed bugs.
Oh. Mom, Grant says I have bed bugs.
Let's see what the doctor says.
Introducing Covenant Virtual Care. Real-time video doctor visits, e-prescriptions, and follow-up. Now extraordinary care comes to you.
See, it's just poison ivy. Smart advanced.
Learn more at covenantvirtualcare.com.
Good morning and welcome back to our pregame special here on BCTV, sponsored by Covenant Healthcare. It's our honor to have guest, master of ceremonies, host team for the tournament, coach from Bay City Central Boys Tennis, Joe Ricard. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Thanks, Mike.
Good to see you, Joe.
All right, let's talk for a minute about the opportunity that arose at some point for you to have the tournament here and the advantage to doing it here at the Midland Tennis Center.
For years, the Bay County tournament has obviously been in Bay County. Unfortunately, it's always held at two sites because you really need at least 12, 16 courts is ideal. So we've had half the team at John Glenn, half the team at Garber, coach running between the two sites. And we just thought we'd try it out here this year, and so far we like it.
Coach, a little bit different scoring here for the county tournament. Can you kind of break down how this tournament is scored for both the singles and the doubles matches?
Sure. In a normal tennis match, you play the best 2 out of 3 sets. First person to win 2 sets wins the match. However, there are state regulations how much tennis you can play in a day. So if you shorten up your matches, you can play more matches. So the Bay County Tennis Tournament is called a 10-game pro set. The first person to win 10 games wins the match. So, and on a day like today with the heat like it is, we're all happy to have short matches.
Now, before we get into talking about the great new complex in Bay City, what is your estimated time of finishing this tournament this afternoon?
3 p.m. We should be done by 3 p.m. today, I think, before the heat really sets in. Just happy I'm not coaching football today. I'm coaching tennis.
Yeah. So we have got a really cool thing happening in Bay City, something that is very near and dear to your heart that you've helped spearhead. Talk about the new tennis complex going on.
And I'll talk a lot about the new tennis because it just is a hard thing to market anymore. And we have enough money now to build 8 new tennis courts on the site of the former Thomas Jefferson Elementary School, Park Avenue. We received another real nice grant this week. This week's grant was from the Gerstacker Foundation. Our goal is to raise $500,000. $400,000 to build the tennis courts and $100,000 set aside for long-term maintenance of those courts. And I'm proud to say and happy to say that we are at $425,000. So we will be playing on new tennis courts next year. We could play on them this year, but everybody is so busy in the construction business right now that we've decided not to push any contractors and let it come, and next spring we'll be on new courts. I can smell the asphalt.
Well, you know, Joe, I heard you, the Baseball Foundation here in Midland gave you some dollars. I heard you on 100.9, but, one of the key things that you said in that interview is the maintaining of these courts and how expensive it is, because they wear down and they're outside in the weather. So that's a key component, is getting that $100,000 to maintain these over the years.
And definitely, anybody familiar with the Veterans Memorial Park courts in Bay City sees what happens when they aren't maintained, and they're basically not maintained because local governments just don't receive the funding that we used to receive. So we figure $100,000 invested properly will maintain courts for many, many years.
Well, then after that, Coach, it'll be up to somebody else to worry about who maintains them after the 20 or so years that you'll have funding for. But we're excited to have this tournament here. It's our first opportunity to come here, and we wish you and your team and a successful tournament to all this day.
Jeff, we're excited to have you here, and just really surprised to have some media out here today. This is great, and please leave notice with the coaches how and when we can view this, because again, we appreciate Mike you coming, and Jeff, we appreciate you guys coming down here.
We'll be back with all the tennis action right after this on BCTV.
Ow, ow, ouch! My hip, my knee, my joints feel out of whack. Ow, ow, oh my! The pain, I can't take it anymore.
Welcome, as we have got Central and Western in a doubles #1 match. For the Central Wolves, we have Alex Ramon, and we have Riley Taub, and then Brandon Welch and Nolan Zaluka from Western, and it should be some fun.
Well, you know what, Jeff? It's kind of fun seeing a different bit of this rivalry. We've seen it in a lot of sports, but now we get to see it in tennis also, so this is kind of fun. Really is.
One of the unique things to this event are there are not people at the net, there are not people on the back line. It's up to the honor system to say, hey, this was in, this was out, and you see very little bickering.
That's really right. You're on the honor system. Kids are calling it, and some sportsmanship going on. So really, what a great way to start our first tennis tournament, Jeff, between Central and Western.
And again, what an awesome venue we're blessed with out here to see a tournament that you now know can be done by 3 o'clock this afternoon instead of 6 or 7 tonight.
Yeah, and it's all in one place, Jeff. And thanks so much to Joe Ricard talking to us and giving us a lowdown on the county tournament. It's really a special day for us and a special day for these kids.
All right, so it's One Love Western, as it will be the first team to get to 10 victories. And I don't know if it's every win or every other that they'll switch, but we're going to learn as we go as well.
This is our first one ever, Jeff, so really a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
All right, so we will mark down that Western has got one so that we can keep track. I've got one. As the second serve is in. And a very nice cross-court winner with the backhand for Western. And I did a little research this week as I watched tennis. They don't do a lot of talking and commentary, so if you see us going stretches without talking, we're going to let the action speak for itself.
That's very hard for us to do, not to talk, Jeff, but you know what? Let's watch these kids. Some good tennis players out here, and it's going to be a great day for tennis.
All right, so the first one is out. Again, we're dealing with Alex Ramon and Riley Taub for Central, obviously in the purple, and then white for Western would be Brandon Welch and Nolan Zaluka. again, on that last point, the kid from Central did play it, but knowing that that ball was out already, so you hear the Western people talk about it. They give the score before every point, too, so that both teams are in agreement that the score is now 30-15. I like it when the other team's got 0 because that's love.
I wonder when you were going to come up with it. Didn't take very long.
So now at 40-15, Western is in a position to go up 2-0. And the first team to win 10, and these games just fly along.
Well, and these 4 gentlemen, Jeff, are all by themselves. There's no other matches going on this side of the complex. So everybody's focused in on the Central and Western rivalry, and we've seen it in basketball and football and volleyball. So now we're getting another aspect of this rivalry, which is kind of cool.
Well, we saw lacrosse last year for Central Western too, but by the time we're done with this for the year, we're hoping to hit some 15 sports, you know, and it all takes the proper geographics and the right timing and our schedules and stuff, but it is really just exciting.
Nice job right there by the young man from Bay City Central. We'll ask Natalie to point out their names for us. Natalie Doan, our camera person today, Jeff, knows everybody and everything about what's going on in Bay County.
Well connected is the 2 words that
it's got that great last name.
Yeah, her social media skills are off the charts.
Yeah.
As Western's first serve, and they always keep the second one in their pocket or waistband or someplace. They usually ease up on the second serve to make sure that it's in. And as you watch them go back and forth to make sure that the double person is on the opposite side so he doesn't get bopped in the back of the noggin.
Another communication in athletics, Jeff. They're talking to each other, telling them where to go, what to do, when to move, and how to do it. So, again, very, very important that both these players are communicating with each other.
2-0 Western as they go up in the match. And serving will be Brandon Welch. All right, our score is 40-30 right now, Western. Advantage Western.
You've been doing your homework, my friend.
Well, I don't watch a lot of tennis, but I try and watch this stuff like Wimbledon and stuff that means something, part of the Grand Slam 4 events for the year, to see how players play on different conditions. And they'll take a real nice forehand, and that will be game number 3 in the books for Bay City Western as they take a commanding 3-0 lead here in our 1-10 match.
Well, and Jeff, I like the way this is playing out. Joe hit it right, nail right on top of the head. Where we got to get these in quick. You got a lot of courts. Normally they're playing till 6, 7 at night. Today they're going to be done by 3, and so it's a good event. It's a quick event, but and you get a lot of tennis going on all at the same time.
I got to believe they may be done sooner than 3 because they planned on an hour per event and 15 minutes in between. Some of these matches were done in 30 minutes. Maybe that's preliminary round stuff, but I think any opportunity they have to stay on or ahead of schedule, they'll say Yahoo.
Yeah, well, and it's a hot one again today, Jeff. We're in the end of September. We're talking about 90-degree weather, so these kids, again, will have to stay hydrated like what we saw the other night with the Pinconning and Ovid-Elsie football game. Very important that these kids get a lot of water and a lot of Gatorade in them today.
Well, we didn't think much about the hot weather because we chose to wear black today.
Yeah, right. Oops.
As that was a quick to the net.
And Brandon Welch. That was Brandon Welch with the big slam and the point for Western. Nice job by Brandon. Brandon's wearing the orange shoes, Jeff, and Nolan Zaluka has got the gray shoes on for the Western Warriors. That's how we're going to tell them apart. and Alex Ramon has the is without the sunglasses. So Riley Taub is the center player who's serving right now.
As that last one goes long, and again, you'll hear the players as they get near the lines. And the other thing I thought was nice, I talked to Nolan's dad a little earlier, and he said if that ball is even close, they're not going to worry about something that's within a couple inches of the line. They just play it.
Yep, yeah, and you know what? It's good that these kids are playing like this, and there's a lot of good sportsmanship going on in the game of tennis.
Well, again, any time that you can see a competitive rivalry in any sport is great. And that's why we are so overjoyed to be able to bring the wide world of sports to Bay County.
It really is, Jeff. You know, we made the commitment. We told everybody that we're going to get in as many of these tennis matches and soccer matches and lacrosse matches and swimming meets. We're going to do them all, and hopefully everybody enjoys what they see. And you know, we may be a little bit of a novice at these things, but you know, it's not about us. We just want to get the kids on TV and let everybody see what great things are happening in Bay County.
So you had to let people know that we're only novice at this? We were hoping to fool folks for a while.
We're good at fooling people. We're novices at the game.
It's Bay City Central serving again. I did not hear the score beforehand, but I believe that might be game point. As now the score will go to 4-0 with Bay City Western now in the serve. Looks like every other game they're going to switch ends.
Yeah, every other game they'll switch ends, Jeff. And so Bay City Western's up 4-love here in this doubles match. This is number 2 double match for these are the number 2 players for both teams. So again, Joe Ricard, when it's time to move to a court, he'll yell out 1, 2, 3, or 4, and he'll yell the schools, and those kids will go to that court and play. So it's very well run. Joe does a nice job.
Well, and I went and looked at the bracketology, the way it's laid out on the table, and you've got to be an expert in bracketology to really understand how to bob and weave this whole complex together to make it work, as that lob shot is out and wide. But just to have the opportunity to be at this tennis center, which is our first opportunity, is a wow factor. But the fact that you can get this done by 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon is huge for the kids and for the fans.
Great organization, great for the fans, good viewing, Jeff. You know, thank goodness there's a little bit of a breeze today. It's really not too bad. We're about 10 o'clock, 10:15 in the morning, so it's a good breeze. Kids are looking really sharp, and it really is really an honor and a pleasure to be here watching this tennis tournament. It was a little long.
The other thing that warms my heart, I guess, so to speak, is the fact that how appreciative these other sports are, because, and I get it, they don't have time to cover all the sports and give them attention, but all these kids work hard and they deserve equal love.
They do. These guys put in a lot of time after school and in the off season. They're all in the weight rooms doing their thing, and it is good to see that they are getting some coverage and being on Bay County TV, and we are just pleased to be able to be here and do this for these tennis players.
Well, and when you look around at the names and the faces, you've got quite a few multi-sport athletes. You don't have kids that just play tennis 12 months out of the year. Yeah,
they do play some baseball. We know there's some baseball players out here, Jeff, we've seen. Some basketball players. So, you know, nowadays the kids there's a lot going on in their lives. They got busy schedules, and they're playing a lot of stuff and doing a lot of things.
All right, we're halfway through this first match as Bay City Western is on somewhat of a roll right now. They'll switch ends, they'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back right after this on BCTV.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Ben, please.
Wow, you can talk to your app? That's pretty cool.
Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
no, I'm fine, thanks.
It's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency. Welcome back here on BCTV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Natalie Doan, camera, direct, produce. She has got the trifecta going today, but we're elated to be at the Midland Tennis Center today.
It's a boys Bay County tournament, Jeff, over here in Midland. And what a great facility, and we're just absolutely pleased as punch to be here after a long night.
Yes, indeed. It was midnight before we were able to shut the system down and back up early to be here for 9 o'clock this morning. But you know what? It just pushed the go button, and it's just exciting to see this great complex and all these kids in one place. And again, as Joe talked about in the pregame, just the fact that they don't have to traverse from John Glenn to Garber 4 or 5 times during the day.
That is huge that they don't have to go back and forth, Jeff. They get to stay in the same place, watch their kids. And, you know, you look at Joe, and Joe started out as a basketball coach. He was at New Valley, he was at Bay City Central for a while. So he just kind of said, I'm going to see how I like this tennis. And he has really done a nice job with the Central team, boys and girls, and with that complex going on over at Park Avenue in Bay City.
And again, we talked earlier about the complex, but what a great opportunity for Bay City, because making the complex is a beautiful part, but finding enough money to keep it nice and maintaining it is, to me, the key element.
It's important that you maintain these things, Jeff. And you know, I've been in public school facilities for some time now, and you can see what some of the wear and tear on the facilities can do over the years from the weather, especially tennis courts. And it takes a lot to maintain them. Sometimes you just don't have the funds to do that, but it's nice that they're setting some dollars aside for that complex, and a great place to have it, a great neighborhood over there where the old Thomas Jefferson building was.
Well, and it's great to have the space to put it together, as the Western duo of Nolan Zaluka and Brandon Welch have a commanding lead in this match.
Yeah, Brandon Welch is serving right now for the Western Warriors, and they are up 30-love, if I'm not mistaken, right now. Jeff, Brandon's a good-looking tennis player. Got a nice serve.
I got it.
And at 30-love, now it's 40-love, and that will give them win number 6.
Yep, that'll give them win number 6. They will move it up. Nope, 30-love, I'm sorry. Thank you to Brandon for letting us know what the score is.
I think he probably heard us on Bay County TV and went, oh, okay, we better straighten them out. It's now 40-love.
Now 40-love. Better straighten those two old coots up there in the viewing area.
You know, the other wow factor for today is we've learned to speak at a much reduced decibel rate than we are previously accustomed to. So, Coach, I'm proud of you for being able to be adaptable like you are.
I can. It's hard, but I think I can pull it off. So you got to do it. Another game to the Western Warriors, Jeff, and that'll put them up 6-love here in the. This is the number 2 doubles match for the Western Warriors and the Bay City Central Wolves.
Now, and I talked to Nolan Zaluka for a moment before the game. He said that Garber is another very talented doubles team and thinks that they will also play a factor in this day's tournament.
Yeah, Garber's always had a pretty strong program, Jeff, and you know, we've got 4 good Bay County teams here at the at the county tournament, and we're you know, we don't get to see these kids so much, but it's really nice to be able to see the quality of tennis players we have in Bay County.
Boy, and I'll tell you, for the community of Midland, to have a facility like this, you got to believe like the Dow Foundation or something is helping to support this, but it is just breathtakingly beautiful, and that is why they got the national distinction that they got.
Number 1 tennis city in America, Jeff, and we walked in and there's courts everywhere inside, there's courts everywhere outside, and they've got 4 clay courts behind us, so if you want to get some clay court action in, you can go over there and play on a clay court.
They've also got the pickleball set up, and with the indoor courts, we were hoping the tournament was going to be indoors today because it's air conditioned in there, but the majority of the courts are obviously outdoor.
16 courts outdoors, Jeff, and plus the 4 clay courts. So I think right now Western up in this match, in this game, love 40. Central serving, love 40.
And again, the serving team will always give their score first.
Right, absolutely. This is game number 7. I wanted just a touch long by Nolan Zaluka, and that'll make it 15-40, Central 15, and Bay City Western 40.
And again, the other thing that is tough for us to acclimate to is the fact that we're used to talking through all the activity, and we just get to watch some of this and let the action speak for itself. Probably a break for our viewers.
Probably the best thing that ever happened to them.
If we have people coming up to us in the ensuing weeks and say, hey, you guys ought to do more tennis, I hope we take that the right way.
Yeah, we like it when you're just a little touch quieter.
We're not going with it, though. So that is win number 7 for Western on their way to 10. I thought we had a souvenir for a minute, but that thing took off around the back.
I can't jump that high anymore, Coach.
If this was Pony League, we'd be able to take it back and get a free bag of corn.
The tennis coach for the Western Warriors is Mike Rohde. I've known Mike a long time. Actually, had the opportunity to coach that young man when I was at Western. He was a great football player out there. Now he's a tennis coach, and just kind of spreading his wings a little bit and getting a little different look at another aspect of athletics in a tennis team. Good man.
Coach, you're dating yourself when there are veteran coaches in this league that played for you while you were coaching. We won't expound upon that too much, though.
Mike's a good guy, and he's a teacher over at Western too. So it's good to see him and see some familiar places walking around the complex today.
The other familiar face I walk and run into is Bucky Schumann. I haven't seen him since last night from the Pinconning game, but I said to him, boy, you must get around. He goes, obviously, that means you get around as well. I said, well, we like to be seen, I guess.
I didn't know Bucky was in the house today. That's impressive. Another good man. Another quality individual that has great love for his Pinconning Spartans and all kids up there in the Pinconning Area School District.
Well, it's just nice to see, looking around, being able to shine all of Bay County and the talents and attributes that the tennis boys program brings.
Yep. 7-0 Western with the lead, Jeff. We'll wait for a score from the players. That one is a little bit wide, heads up into the crowd. Nice catch by that young man over there, sitting down having a nice water. I think it's 40 love right now for the Western Warriors. We'll double check.
Rumor has it that man is from Crump, Michigan, according to Ernie Harwell.
Or Jimmy Connors or John McEnroe.
As again, that first serve, they try and hit it harder to try and get something on that first serve, but the second one, they just want to lob it in so that they can continue play.
Yep, Nolan a little bit wide on that return. I'm going to say it's 40-30 right now, Western. They're up 7-0 here in the number 2 doubles match here at the Bay County Tennis Tournament at the Midland Tennis Complex.
As they come wide to the outside, and we might be at deuce right now.
Could be at deuce. I think we're at 40-40. Western Central coming back into it, down 7-0. Be nice to see if the Central Wolves can get that first game, Jeff.
Which team will get this point and have advantage?
You've been studying. I'm glad you've been watching ESPN.
As this thing is going to be cross-court hit hard, and boy, when you set up the front person at the net for a lob that they can get in position, set their feet, and bring that full overhand up, there's really not a lot the volleying team can do.
And those rackets nowadays, Jeff, are really strong. They're kids can hit it hard, and they do a nice job. And I don't think those things are too cheap either. So good quality tennis racket. We're going to take a look at it. It's going to go up 8-0, I think, right now for the Western Warriors.
Back when I played, there were really two
wood.
big hitters. They were wood, and it was Pete Puma was one, and Schlesinger was the other racket. Unless you were getting a Rawlings or a Spalding or a Wilson, that was, let's just say, entry level.
That's what we had.
Oh, a nice cross-court feed, and that kind of surprised Nolan Zukla at the net. He made a nice attempt, It just hit that white strip at the top and came an inch short of going over the net.
Love 30, or excuse me, love 15, or 15 love for the Central Wolves.
Boy, a very nice job of just seeing the open side of the court. A nice soft shot, making sure it stayed in, unreturnable.
Going right down the line, Jeff, and you know, in doubles you play it the court a little bit wider. Singles you play it the normal singles court, but in doubles you play a little bit wider, so there's a little bit more room when two players on the same side.
Boy, and that's how you have to adjust your mindset for singles versus doubles to know whether you're dealing with singles on the inside lines or the doubles on the outside line, as there's a nice volley back and forth, but Western very adept at knowing that was going to be long and letting it go.
Yep. Nice job by the Warriors. I think that it's tied up 30-30 right now, Jeff.
And again, as we're looking at our players for Bay City Central, Alex Ramon and Riley Taub, and then Brandon Welch and Nolan Zaluka in the white here for the Western Warriors.
Yep.
So going back and forth again, coming back deep. Zaluka shows a nice strong backhand as he gets it back over the net. But when that front person again has their feet set and ready to go, they've got a big advantage.
Really, they got a nice little practice complex out at Western, Jeff, on their home courts. They've got some wood up on the fences so they can hit into the wood so it hits back to them. So when I was out there doing the football pregame, I saw a lot of the tennis players out there working hard and working on their game early in August.
When you look at a lot of these kids are 2 and 3 sport athletes, it's amazing because all year long you at least have to find some time to hone your craft.
Well, and looks like we're over, Jeff, here in this match. It's 10-0 Western with the big win over the Central Wolves. But you know, got to remember they're going to school all day too, so you got to keep up those grades, and that's very difficult to do. And time management is a big part of their lives.
Well, and the other thing you got to take into account is these kids are just starving for quality family time as teenagers, because you know how much as teenagers they love just staying home with the family and relaxing and spending quality time around the campfire.
Spending time with mom and dad. I remember those days. I'm an empty nester right now, so you know I know you got some at home, but yeah, that was always good quality time. They just loved hanging out with us.
Yes, you can't get their fill. Trying to put it all into perspective. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with our next match right after this on BCTV.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance for his new car. In 1947, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson in 1979. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency. Welcome back here on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. Natalie Doan directing, producing, and camera today, the trifecta of goodies. We have got Western and Garber #1 singles going on in front of us. Trevor Tulin is from Garber, and Western is Nicholas Morse in white.
Nicholas is right here below us, Jeff. Another great spot to watch the #1 singles match between the Garber Dukes, Trevor Tulin, and the Western Warriors, Nicholas Morse.
Again, as we talked about in the first match that we did, Mike, just an extremely impressive facility we're blessed with being at today.
Yeah, really nice, Jeff. Really nice, and really, oh, what a nice drop shot right there by Nicholas Morse of the Western Warriors. 15-15 to start the first match.
Drop shot here. Coach, you are an aficionado of all sports. Loving the lingo and the verbiage here today, as there are moments where we'll show our novice, and then there are other moments that we're going to wow them.
A little shy. A little bit long by Garber's Trevor Tulin. It's going to be 30-15 right now for Nicholas Morris of the Bay City Western Warriors in game 1.
I also like being able to look at the way they score this with the tennis ball on the side.
Yeah.
So even if we think we miss a game or two, we still can stay on top of what's going on.
Yeah, nice job by the tennis complex to help these kids out today, Jeff.
Boy, again, another nice little soft volley over the net, causing the return man to have to come up, and that's where you love to have them try and return it where their feet aren't set and they're kind of in an off-balance position.
40-15, Nicholas Morris serving for the first game.
And game number 1 looks like it goes over to the Western Warriors.
Goes to the Nicholas Morris of the Western Warriors. He's going to go over, throw the 2 tennis balls to Trevor. They will switch sides. I think they always switch sides on the odd matches, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see if they do. I think they switch on 1, 3, 5, and we'll switch ends. So Nicholas Morris will go to the other end, and Trevor Toolen will come right here next to us.
I just want to know, Coach, did you figure that out this morning, or did your homework?
Did
your homework?
I did my homework. Absolutely.
Great answer.
Yeah, thank you. I've learned from the best. Serving for the Garber Dukes, Jeff, will be Trevor Toolen here in the near court.
As again, watching on this end, looked like the shot was an inch or two past that line, but they play it and they play on. So great to see. When you get to this level of high school, the strength and the power in the backhand is what is impressive to me.
The kids do a nice job. Trevor Toolen serving at love 15 to Nicholas Morris of Bay City Western.
Again, that first serve, you try and put everything in. Second one, you make a little adjustment just to make sure you get that in the square on the other side of the net.
Trevor looks like he's got a nice first serve. When he gets that in, he's going to be very difficult to beat.
How about the length of this volley here? Just taking a lot of effort and energy for both players as they continue to make it happen, waiting for their opponent to make a mistake.
Like Trevor Toolen with the backhand took it deep down the left-hand side of the court, Jeff, and he ties this match up at 15-15. And these 2 young men, they're pretty good tennis players. They're really doing a nice job. Long volley right there. Good feet, good getting prepped ready before the ball gets to them, before they hit it.
And anybody that thinks these kids aren't great athletes, you go out and try and play an hour's worth of tennis nonstop. And the way these kids play, especially up at this level in the singles, they move you all over the court, and you really got to have quick feet and be able to get to the spot and set your feet.
Well, and you watch these kids, Jeff, and they're getting ready to hit the ball long before it gets to them, and it gets on the bounce, and they're setting themselves up, and they got some good backhands, some good forehands, and both of them are good servers also.
So you're saying that by us watching it today, we may just go out and play a little tennis and become proficient?
Yeah. Maybe when it cools down a little bit.
All right. I was going to say, maybe we'll have a McEnroe and Connors match between you and I sometime that we can do for comedy night for Bay County TV.
We'll play on the junior courts, the small ones. It's,
I think the pickle courts.
I'll take those, as long as there's pickles. We're going to look at the score 15-30 right now. Trevor Toolen up over Nicholas Morris from Western High School.
Pickles to the winners, relish for the losers. Boy, again, just a ton of steam on that, and you definitely would want to get out of the way as you hear it go thud against the wind mat on the backside.
Nice. Nice by Trevor Tulin going down the line on that shot right there, Jeff, and he takes the lead 40-15 here in match number 1.
The thing I like about watching these kids is when they hit the ball, it's that bottom to top overspin that they put on the ball, so when it hits, it has that little extra velocity and scoot when it goes on the surface.
Yep, they do a nice job with that, Jeff. And Trevor's got a nice serve, and he's got, it was a nice pass down the line against Nicholas, make it 40-15 for Trevor.
Obviously, the serving team has a bit of an advantage because they really set the tempo for where that first shot goes and try to set up the rest of the volley.
That one was just a little bit wide for Nicholas Morris, Jeff, and so that means Trevor won game number 2. So we got us a 1-1 tie here going into game 3, and serving for game 3 will be Nicholas Morris for the Bay City Western Warriors. That's been a nice match so far. 2 good games.
Well, and you definitely have 2 evenly matched young men, both taking a game, so unlike the last one that was Western got on a roll and won 10-0, looks like we're in for a dogfight here.
Yeah, and you can see why these 2 young men are the number 1 players on their team. They're very good at their craft.
As again, playing that backside, it was out. We can confirm that on Bay County TV.
We got a good view of that one. Good call.
And again, you love to see the sportsmanship of the kids and the honesty in calling those balls in and out.
Yeah, love 15 for Nicholas. Ready to serve again at love 15.
I like the way he's strong in the voice to let us know and confirm our suspicions on the score. Wow, what great strategy as they move that ball around again, causing the return person to be out of position, can't quite get to it, and just trying to return it, and another point for Garber.
Nicholas with another nice drop shot, but Trevor took it right down the line and then really got it right on the line. So the score right now is 15-30 in favor of Trevor Tulin of the Garber Dukes. Oh, I'm sorry. Love 30. Excuse me.
Another point for Garber Dukes as they'll go up love 40. Trevor Tulin with a commanding lead right now in game number 3.
Tied up 1-1. Love 40 for Tulin here in game number 3. Playing Nicholas Morris, number 1 player for the Bay City Western Warriors.
First one long, and that's the thing is, when you're playing at other levels, you've got people that ball boys and girls that will get that ball and get it out of the way, but you got to hope when that first one gets there that it doesn't end up in the court.
So that'll end game number 3, Jeff. That game will go to Trevor Tulin of the Garber Dukes, and he will be up 2-1. Going into game number 4, they will switch sides here in game number 4. And Trevor will go away from us, and Nicholas will be right below us. But it's been a really good match, and how important it is when you try to get that first service in. The first serve is always the big one that you try to hit, but you hear on many times it's important to try to get that first serve in to set the tone for the rest of that volley and that game.
We'll take a quick break and be back after this on BCTV. AAA Transport and Limousine is the Great Lakes Bay region's most reliable and requested service. We provide many types of transportation services, from non-emergency medical, wheelchair accessible, school transport services, and shuttle services. Our company strives to provide exceptional service to our customers. Our services are tailored to each person or company's specific needs. For the last 10 years, we have pushed the mark higher and higher to give the best service possible. Rest assured that you are in safe hands when you ride with AAA Transport and Limousine. Jeff Doan, Mike Wisdala, along with you. Natalie Doan is on the camera today and doing the producing and directing of the show. She's got the trifecta going as we have got Garber and Western. Trevor Tulin from Garber and Western's Nicholas Morse, as it's 2-1 here in the match best first to 10.
Yep, Trevor Tulin serving at 2-1. And first one was out, second one is in. These two young men have had three good matches, so 3 good games so far.
And again, coming to the net changed Tulin's perspective on what he was trying to do and tried to hit a lob shot that came up short. And I think compared to what we saw in the first match, we have got 2 evenly matched, very, very tough competitors.
Yeah, good two good tennis players, Jeff. Tulin is serving at love 15.
I'm telling you, the novice is off of your tag here, Coach. You are on top of things, and it is a thing of beauty to see. What a great serve right there, just into the back corner. Extremely tough to return. And, boy, that is not a service ace because it was touched, but it was certainly a grand serve.
Yeah, Trevor that was a very good first serve for him. That's going to make it 15-15. Nice job by Trevor getting that first serve in.
And when you watch these kids, you know, on top of trying to be in position, set yourself, making sure you get a square hit, then you got to, oh, by the way, was it in or was it out?
Yep. And that was, again, Trevor's getting that first serve in. It's been a pretty good weapon so far for him, Jeff, and he's serving at 30-15.
Wow, what speed on that serve. And again, making it extremely tough to return that serve.
Nicholas got it back there, Jeff, but it went a little bit long. So that was out, so it's 40-15. Trevor serving here in game 3.
Boy, right off the top of the net. That is, if you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss, because you know if that thing has got another inch on it, and they just lighten up on the second one to get it in. And it looks like we're going to have a 3-1 lead here for the Garber Dukes.
Trevor Tulin took game number 3, Jeff, 40-15. And so the serve will come back to Nicholas Morris, and he's down 1-3 going into game number 4. This is the number 1 match for Garber. It's Trevor Tulin, and right here below us in the white, Nicholas Morris of the Western Warriors.
Well, it's got to be a big day. I turn around, Dave Schwartz is in the house from Garber.
Lord.
You know, either he's got a twin or he's truly omnipresent.
Yes and yes.
It's always great to see the representation of the schools and the fact that they do care about all sports going on. Of course, they would have been the host site for the doubles end of it. So here just showing us support, hoping that this tournament ends like we do before it gets too hot.
15 love. Nicholas Morris from Western won that first point for himself. And we're in game number 4. Trevor Tulin of the Garber Dukes up 3-1.
With Western serving. I'm going to tell Nicholas, win, lose, or draw. I like the way he blurts out that score so we can all hear. So many other people whisper when they give the score. We like hearing who's got what.
Nice job by Nicholas, just dropping it right over that net. And Trevor Tulin from Garber could not get to it. Make it 30 love for Nicholas Morris of the Western Warriors here in game number 4, the 2017 edition of the Bay County Boys Tennis Tournament, Jeff.
And again, it's going to be in the low 90s this afternoon. So here we are in the late morning. It is at least tolerable to stand out here, but you can tell the heat index is on the rise.
Nice job by Trevor getting that ball way deep into the court, Jeff. That's going to make it 30-15. Nicholas Morris with the lead here in game 4. But a nice serve, but a good return by Trevor Tulin. Very, very deep into the court.
And again, I love the way they pick the ball up. Instead of just bending over for it, racket, ball, foot, slide the foot up, get it to bounce once, hit it with the racket, bring it up to our level, which is waist level.
Least amount of energy is what that's what you want to do.
30-15.
And 30-15 with a long serve on the first.
Second.
As there is a winner.
It's going to be going to tie up, Jeff, 30-30.
Oh, we're at deuce.
Oh, I thought it was 30-30. Well,
it will be deuce.
Let's see what Nicholas says. He's going to be a sports broadcaster in his day.
See, I look at that as the other deuce because the 40-30 is still going to be advantage.
Right.
So,
yep, advantage to Nicholas Morris right there in game. That was a nice first serve right there for Nicholas. So he's going to be at 40-30 and serving for the match number 4. Down 3-1.
40-30.
and that is a huge serve, as that is certainly the ace that makes it 3-2, and that was a huge game for Nicholas Morris to come back.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have won that, Jeff, he would have been down 4-1. It would have been tough to come back. So we're in the odd game right here. So we are going to switch, and they're going to switch ends of the courts. They're going to wipe off a little bit, take a little bit of a drink, because it is getting a little bit warmer out here at the Midland Tennis Complex.
Well, and again, as we go on in the day, not only are you going to deal with the increased heat, but the fatigue factor of having to maybe play 4 or 5 matches to win the championship.
Yeah, and you know, and Joe Ricard's got this set up really well, Jeff. And one's going to play, all the ones are going to play all the ones. So one's from Western and Garber, they're all going to play. They're all Glen and Central, and they're all going to play. So that'll be the end of their day. So they're going to end up playing at least 4 matches in this heat. And you know what? Take your hat off to these kids. This is tough out here. It is hot. It is steamy. A little bit of a breeze, but it's really not making that big of a difference.
There's not that much breeze, I don't think.
No,
it is
not
definitely,
you know,
it's hot stuff. And again, you know, I'm sure they'll take as much time as they need for the hydration end of things, because although we are under time constraints, we are also under safety constraints.
Yeah, you know, I did not know that there was a limit on the tennis time that you're playing, Jeff. So that's good that Joe Ricard gave us a little update on the Michigan High School Athletic Association tennis rules.
Yeah, there are a whole lot of intricate rules that come into play for sports that as we do more, we will become more proficient in. But, you know, I just like the fact that they can put these tournaments together so the kids can get all the matches in a time frame that will stay within their parameters for eligibility.
Yep, Trevor a little bit wide on that shot, Jeff, so it's going to be Love 15. First points go to Nicholas Morris here in game number 6. He's down 3-2. Is Nicholas Morris of Western, and he's going up against the number 1 player, Garber, Trevor Toolin.
And see, sometimes you just let it go. Other times you realize, boy, that could be something that I go to set my foot and turn my ankle on. You kick it to the back, get it out of the way, and here comes serve number 2. Boy, with that volley was so high, he really Morse couldn't get on top, or Toolin couldn't get on top of that, and it sailed long.
Hit it a little bit long, Jeff. I think it's 15-15 right now.
Love 30, I believe, was the score.
Yep. Love 30. That's Nicholas Morris is up. Always give the serving player, the first score. So that's Love 30, Morris from Western.
Serve number 2 for Tulin is in, and what a great job that time by Nicholas Morse as he put a nice soft shot over the net. No good place for it to be returned, and looks like Nicholas Morse has got just a little bit of momentum going here.
He's at Love 40, and he's ready to break right here, Trevor Tulin. So this is when he's not serving. So it'll be a big win for Nicholas Morse.
Potential for a service break.
Yes, potential for a service break.
Yep, always like to get confirmation on the score beforehand. As that will tie up the match here at 3 games apiece as Nicholas Morse, after being down 3-1, comes back with 2 games in a row.
That's a big couple wins right there, Jeff, to tie up this match. It's 3-3, and they're going to go to 10. And serving for the lead will be the number 1 player of Bay City Western. That's Nicholas Morse in the far court. But you know what? 2 in a row. Good for Nicholas coming back and tying this thing up.
As Morse continues his role, getting the first point of game number 7 tied up at 3.
Yep, 15 love for Nicholas, Jeff, and he's won the last 2 games in a row. Trevor Tulin from Garber came out, went up 3-1, but Nicholas doing a nice job coming back and tying this thing up.
And the thing I like about his number 1 singles is the accuracy on that second shot. You know, it comes about 95+% accuracy, and that's what you need because that double fault will not render you any great points.
Yeah, that was just a little bit wide, Jeff. We got tied up 15-15 here in game number 7 between Trevor Tulin and Nicholas Morris of Western. Trevor Tulin, the Garber Dukes. Number 1 singles match.
What a great shot just inside the back line. Nice little lob shot, realizing that going to the net, that was his opportunity to lob deep, and a very effective shot. He is really starting to gain some momentum in this match.
All right, 30-15. Morris with the lead from Bay City Western. Game number 7 here in the number 1 singles match.
As that ball goes long and will be tied up at 30.
Yep, 30-30.
Looks like a great match that we picked to do here, as these 2 combatants are just going back and forth.
Yeah, this has been a really good match. Kids are playing hard, nice serving, an ace or 2, and a lot of nice drop shots and lob shots too, Jeff.
Unbelievable drive.
Yeah, that was a nice serve right there, just inside the line, and that's going to be 40-30 Morris. And if he wins this game, Jeff, that'll be 3 in a row for that young man from Bay City Western. Deuce.
As we are back to deuce, as again, some great volleys back and forth with these 2 competitors.
Yeah, they're very good tennis players, Jeff. And Trevor Tulin from Garber's fought his way back to deuce. And here in game number 7, both kids won 3 games. We're tied up 3-3. Nice return.
Yep, and again, very close, and looked like it may have been an inch long, but too close to call when you're trying to set yourself up for the return. So I like the discretion and just play it.
Yeah, advantage Morris.
Wow, great little drop shot over the net.
Yeah, and that'll give Nicholas Morris. This is he'll take the lead here in game number 7. He's up 4-3. He'll be going into game number 8. Trevor Toolin was up 3-1 early, but Nicholas Morris has really come on strong here lately, and he's got the score 4-3, and he is in the lead here in the number 1 match between Toolin and Morris.
Again, this is the Bay County Boys Tennis Tournament 2017. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you. Natalie Doan handling the camera work today. As we give Nick Page the day off, he's been working hard, so Natalie said, allow me the opportunity to step up and make it happen.
Yeah, she's done a nice job, Jeff. She set the camera up, and I see a career in broadcasting or behind the scenes with her. What do you think?
Well, she's taking the communications class from Brian Bishop over at Central right now, so Lord help Brian Bishop.
Who better to take a class from than Brian Bishop, Jeff? Got a great program over there at Bay City Central.
WCHW 91.3 as we're going to get ready to get back to our action here. 4-3 as the Western singles over the Garber singles here. Well, I couldn't tell if that was on or off the line. Looked like it may have just been out.
Yeah, it was just a little bit wide. So here in game number 8, Jeff, Trevor Toolin will go up 15-love, and he is serving in the far court. But we've had a great match between these two young men. Trevor Toolin, the number 1 player from the Garber Dukes, and Nicholas Morris, the number 1 player for Bay City Western.
As Toolin, the last couple of times he's served in games, is starting to have a little bit of trouble getting that first serve in.
Yeah, he had a couple games there, Jeff. We got that first one in, you're right, but he needs to get the second one in, and then that was a nice deep serve. That's what you're looking for, a nice deep serve like that.
Again, I just love the way that they can get that top spin on the ball, and that just comes from a whole lot of repetitions.
Well, Trevor with a really nice backhand cross court, Jeff, and Morris couldn't get to it, so it's going to be 30-love for Trevor Toolin here in game number 8.
As he is trying to get back into this match, as obviously Nicholas Morris has rattled off 3 straight wins and gained the middle of this match momentum.
Yes, he's done a nice job getting back into this, Jeff, and taking the lead at 4-3.
Toolin again with a little trouble on that first serve. As that one goes long. And again, with Morse going to the net, he really forced a change of the shot, tried to go deep into the wide side of the court, and just hit a little long.
Well, when you hit it short like that, just over the net, Jeff, and you return it, you go right to the net and you stay there, and makes it a little more difficult, but a nice job by Morris for Bay City Western to get back into this match, this game, I'm sorry.
When you're at the net, you really don't have a whole lot of time to react if they send a rocket your way. So it's something that you definitely better be on guard, because sometimes hitting it right at you is the best return that you can have. And then they test not only your reflexes but your moxie.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just got to get out of the way and hope the racket gets in the way, and not quite sure what the score is right now, Jeff. I want to say it's 40-30, but we'll see what the kids say.
Plane going overhead as we are near the Midland County Municipal Airport, right behind the fairgrounds, which is just about a mile and a half from us.
Tied up,
as we're tied up at 4 games. So that was a big win for Tulin to stem the tide after 3 straight Morse win games.
Trevor needed that to get back into this match. We got us a really nice number 1 singles match at tied up 4-4.
Do we know how to pick them?
We do. We do. This has been a great match. 2 good tennis players.
Boy.
Yeah, very nice shot. Just inside the line, Jeff. And you could hear Nicholas Morris telling Trevor Tulin that was a nice shot. So, and one thing you got to about these kids, they go probably see each other a lot at tennis camps and tournaments and traveling all around. So they're very familiar with each other. They play a lot of tennis against each other. So good sportsmanship by Nicholas Morris from Bay City Western.
And I would imagine there are not a ton of tennis training teachers in the area, so I would say, maybe out at Bay Valley or something, that they have the opportunity, maybe even have common coaches.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
As it was just long.
Yeah, just long, so it's going to be Love 30. Trevor Tulin taking the first 2 points here. We are in match number 9, Jeff, and we go to 10. And it's been a great match between these 2 fine tennis players, one from Nicholas Morris from Western and Trevor Tulin from Garbadukes.
Boy, the energy that they're expounding, and they're not even halfway through this match yet.
Yeah.
And again, you're almost forced to be honest, because there are just enough people watching this match that if that thing's on the line, you have to be honest about what's going on at 15:30. Morse trying to get back into this game.
Yep, good call. It was out, Jeff, and that's tied. Nicholas Morris from Western has tied it up 15-15. Or I'm sorry, 30-30.
30 off.
Just hit the top of the net.
Net for service.
Wow factor,
and
Coach.
It made it in, so it's he's going to get another opportunity.
Also, you're telling me that's the difference. If it hits the net and goes in the box, then it's a no serve.
Yep, it's a net first service, and he gets to do it again. So another nice first serve there by Morris, Jeff, and he goes up 40-30 here in game number 9.
40-30.
Oh, back to deuce right now is, again, great exchange. You know, it's just hit a great shot and then recover with a nice shot, and back and forth they go. Neither of these kids are giving each other an inch.
There's no room for error here, Jeff. Both kids are playing hard, doing a nice job spreading the ball around the court.
Deuce.
With the shot.
Boy, and when you get to the net and you see that you have got the opportunity to send that wide, The defender's going to realize at that point I'm not even going to expend the energy to go and get it, because if he hits it in, he's going to ace it. If he doesn't hit it in, then I'm going to get a point, but I can't catch up with it.
Yeah, Trevor Toolin got back into this, Jeff, and Nicholas Morris is up 5-4 here in game number 10. The number one single match between Garber's Trevor Toolin and Western's Nicholas Morris. Nicholas Morris serving for the match.
For the game.
For the game, I'm sorry.
And he finishes it with an ace right on the line.
Yep. So advantage. Yep, it was advantage Morris, Jeff. That was game number 9, so he won that. Game number 9, so 5-4 Morris from Bay City Western going into game number 10, and serving will be Trevor Toolin from Garber right here in the court right below us.
We'll take a break and be back right after this on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Back here on BCTV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you, Natalie Doan, our cameraman today, as we have got ourselves a great singles match up here.
Yep, Trevor Toolin right below us, Jeff, serving. He's down 4-5 here. Number one singles between Nicholas Morris of Bay City Western.
2017 Boys Bay County Championships here at the Midland Tennis Center in a phenomenal complex.
Yeah, this has been a really good morning for us, Jeff. We've never been here before. 16 courts outside, a whole bunch on the inside. They've got 4 clay courts on the back side of the property. Had some gentlemen playing back there. This is really impressive. A very, very nice complex.
Tennis Center USA, very justifiably.
Yeah, I never realized how nice this was, and seeing it on TV doesn't do it justice.
Toolin with the serve. First one comes up short with 15 love, our score.
Yep.
And again, some players are great at giving that score, but you don't want to get 5 or 6 points deep into it and then have controversy as to what the score is.
15 love Morris here in game number 10. If Western's Nicholas Morris wins this game, he will win the match, and he will win it 6-4. But you know what? Trevor Toolin's got something to say about that, Jeff.
Oh, so it's the best of 10 and not the first one to 10?
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong.
We'll know in a few minutes.
We'll know in a few minutes. Maybe it is the first one to 10. We're learning as we go. You're probably right.
We're not quite experts, but we consider ourselves close.
Just ask us. Yeah, it's not 10 games, it's 10 points. You're correct. You are correct.
And just long and just about going over the netting, as coming back as Toolin is not about to succumb to the point difference in this next game.
Nice serve.
Boy, at 30-15, now we're knotted up at 30-30 again, as neither one of these competitors are giving an inch.
Yeah, that was a nice first serve and a good return by Nicholas Morris. Morris gets the point, so we're 30-30 here in game number 10.
Nice job by Morse there. He forced Tulin into 4 straight backhands until he made a mistake.
And Trevor wanted to take it down the line, Jeff, but he's just a little bit wide, so we got ourselves 40-30 Morse, excuse me, 30-40. Trevor serving at 30-40.
First one just long, second serve at 30-40.
Good shot.
And that is a great shot by Morse. Sets that forehand up to the near side by hitting a number of backhands in a row, making him think that's his tendency. Out-thunked his opponent on that last volley.
Both pretty solid on the back end too, Jeff. So I think we're at, it looks like that game went to Nicholas Morris.
Yes.
So he'll take game number 9, and we'll go up 6-4.
So I guess we're going to 10.
Yeah, we are. You are correct, sir.
Just long. And again, as they're rolling back, they just put one index finger up, signifying long. And I'm going to say Mr. Tulin said, oh, I'm so pleased that was long, as I had no chance to return it.
That was a nice job trying to get it back there, Jeff, but it was a little bit long by Morris. Love 15 here in game number 11.
Tied up at 15 as a great first serve by Morse, and Tulin's return is long.
Well, and you knew the number ones, Jeff. These kids were going to play pretty good tennis, so you knew this was going to be a long match. And when you're the number one players, you're going to play a lot of tennis, and they've showed us that they're good, and just what we expected, a long match.
Safe to say we're in a sun-soaked situation here with the 3 S's, as it is starting to get very, very warm.
It is a good serve right there by Morris. It is 30-15 Morris here in game number 11. The number one player for Bay City Western taking on Trevor Tulin, the number one player for the Garber Dukes.
Just long on that first serve. Again, the expertise on that second serve, the high percentage, as soon as I talk about it,
Double
he has
fault.
a double fault.
Yep, 30-30 for the fellas. And we are in game number 11 again here at the 2017 Boys Bay County Tennis Tournament at the beautiful Midland Tennis Center.
We hope that people don't have to adjust the volume on their TV because we are at a much reduced decibel level here, trying to use the proper tennis etiquette, which is not easy for you and I.
Well, and we're not enclosed either, so we're up on a porch, and we got a great vantage point, Jeff. So, and we've seen some great tennis so far.
Very pleased that we were able to pick the match that we were, as we're seeing 2 of the best in Bay County banging heads.
Yep, they are the best in Bay County, Jeff, for their prospective schools, and we've got 30-15 Morris, or I'm sorry, 15-30 Trevor Tulin with the lead for the Garber Dukes. Oh, excuse me, 30-40. Missed one.
Long on the first serve again. Just a little bit long, and that looks like the game will go to Trevor Tulin, and that makes the score 6-5, as again both of these kids are going back and forth. Every time somebody gets a short advantage, they are going to jump back. So we'll take another quick break as they take a break and hydrate, and we'll be back right after this on BCTV.
How's married life? Are you ready to have a baby? Baby, baby. How about that baby? Ooh. I'm not getting any younger.
When you are ready. With the only neonatal intensive care unit in the Great Lakes Bay region, Covenant is the safest place for your delivery. Go to mycovenantbaby.com.
Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala along with you, Natalie Doan, doing the camera work today as we are in a 6-5. Nicholas Morse from Western with 1-game lead over Garber's Trevor Tulin, number 1 singles 2017 Bay County Tennis Championship.
Oh, yeah. You do as well. Steve? You guys so impressed by your sitting out here in this sun and baking and getting the job done. I'm not surprised. Big Michael wouldn't do this. Well, we should Max and roll. Yeah, Dick Enberg, no. Enjoy. You guys.
As that last one was out, so we'll wait for the points. Double fault.
Double fault by Tulin, Jeff. I did not see the first point. Who did that go to? Or was that the first point of the match?
The last 2 points have both gone to Morse. I did not catch the first one either, as Dave Schwartz was in the neighborhood and he was excited to be here, but also equally as excited that they didn't have to have their facility open for today's event, which would have kept him there until probably 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh.
Boy, just hit the white strip at the top, and the last 3 points go to Morse. And we'll find out if it's 15-40 or game. Looks like it's 15-40.
Yep. Just hit the tape, Jeff, on that drop shot by Tulin. 15-40, Morse with the lead here in game number 12.
Morse is up over Tulin, 6-5. First serve is short. Boy, and that thing just hits the tape and it goes straight up in the air and comes down on the near side. If that goes down on the other side, that would be game, but it is 40-30 to the best of my knowledge right now. 6-4 or 6-5 again for Morse from Western over Tulin from Garber.
Number 1 players for both squads. Jeff doing a nice job and kind of what we expected from the number 1 players. Long volleys, good match, gonna go the distance.
Tremendous shot for the game that time from Morse, as that falls just inches inside the back line, and by the time it gets back to the fence you really have little or no opportunity to return that. It's 7-5 right now as Nicholas Morse from Western with a 2-game lead and the serve.
That's the advantage right now, Jeff, having up 2 games and getting the serve. 7-5.
It hits the net, so did that go in?
Yes, it did.
2 serves?
Net first service, yep.
Ooh la la, Coach. I'm going to tell you what, when Ricard retires, I think you might have found something to do in your transition to retirement.
Nice first serve by Nicholas.
Boy, and you just deaden that shot as you just drop it up over the net. And again, that's a helpless feeling for Tulin because he knows he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, he just drops the racket right on the ball, Jeff, and dies right there. Nice job by Morris. 15-love here in game number 12.
Very obvious to us in watching this match. Both of these kids have not just grown up playing tennis, but they've played a whole bunch of it in their career.
Yeah, they it's like they were born with the racket in their hand.
Good point, Nathan. Oh.
Again, we are out at the sun-soaked complex here at the Midland Tennis Center. They have graciously offered to host this event with 16 courts of tennis going on at once. The participants are elated. They're not going to be here till 6, 7 o'clock tonight, having to play in the highest heat of the afternoon.
Yeah, Jeff, it's a great place, and you're right, because if it would have been back in Bay City, we would have been playing some at Garber, some at Glen, coaches going back and forth. You know, parents may be having to go back and forth also, so it's nice to be able to come out to one complex, sit on the steps and watch your son play tennis all day. So we really appreciate the effort and Joe Ricard's put forward in this beautiful county tournament.
40 love. With the first service, he had a little extra juice on that, trying to see if he could make this match. And I think out of the corner of his eye, he saw tennis ball coming down at his feet. He really lightened up on that first shot, but he's still got a commanding lead at 40-15.
40-15. We are in game number 13, Jeff. Morris serving for the match from Bay City Western.
Boy, and if he gets this, he'll be up 8-5 and certainly have a commanding lead as that first serve just goes wide. That would have been a service ace had he been able to get it in. Boy, 8-5. There is game point as they'll be switching sides. This is an odd number. The last time my abacus told me we were on game 13.
Yeah, I think they are going to switch sides. They had a little chat about it. You are right, my friend. 1 for 1.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm quitting, I'm retiring, I'm all done. I'm 1 for 1. You know, through last night, I believe you were 9 for 9 this year. I can't stump you, so I guess I'm going to stop trying. You've learned well, Grasshopper, over the years.
I've learned from the best. And Jeff, it was a good football game last night between Pinconning and Ovid-Elsie, and we've got another one coming up on the 29th of this month. We've got the Pinconning area Spartans again. We're going up there. They're going to take on the Tri-Valley foe of the Hemlock Huskies coming to Pinconning. Homecoming in Pinconning.
Well, then I believe the next day we are going to have the Saginaw Valley Natatorium will be host to the Bay County in the girls swimming. And then we've got cross country the next Friday up at Pinconning in addition to our football. So we're going to be some busy folk.
Well, unfortunately, I will not be able to be with you at Saginaw Valley, and I know you guys will do a great job. I will be playing in my annual ISD golf outing out at Maple Leaf. We get in that every year. It's a fundraiser, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But you know, we've had a great stretch this fall. We've seen a lot of things, a lot of good football games, some good tennis. We're going to see some cross country, and you know what? It's been a lot of fun putting this thing together.
Well, and I think the real beauty of what we put together, Mike, is the fact that we had the need and the desire to come out and show all these other sports and show how hard these kids work and give them a little love.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, and you look around, and Bay County TV is the only media outlet here today, so we are very happy to be able to show our viewers the best in Bay County tennis, and I hope we're doing it justice, so we'll get better at it, and it's just a lot of fun to be able to bring it to our viewers.
Well, you know, just for our viewers, we paid extra money to be exclusive in our rights to do this tennis tournament. So we are honored to do that for the participants, and I think we picked a great second match here as this has lived up to expectation.
You're absolutely right, Jeff, and we're about ready to get served. It will be game 14. Trevor Tulin serving to Nicholas Morse.
Boy, this is a must game for Tulin to get back into this, being down 8-5.
Absolutely.
Boy, as the volley was set up, Tulin had a great opportunity, had his feet squared, just hit that ball a little bit high and over the back line.
He'll serve at Love 15 at 8-5-8. And Morris with the lead here in the #1 singles match between Trevor Tulin of the Essexville Garber Dukes and Nicholas Morris of the Bay City Western Warriors.
Here in the 2017 Bay County Boys Tennis Championship, we're at the Midland Tennis Center, as we are just very impressed with this facility. Both of our first opportunities to see this facility, Mike, and it has not disappointed.
It is absolutely gorgeous. I would encourage everybody, if they can, to get out here and take a look at this, because it's impressive.
Boy, great shot by Tulin. Right away, Morse, what a great competitor and sportsmanship, saying, hey, man, I couldn't do a thing with that shot. It was just a great shot.
He got right over the tape, Jeff, and dropped it right on the line, so it was a nice shot. We got it tied up at 15-15 here in game number 14.
Again, 8-5 Morse from Western over Tulin from Garber, as Tulin is serving at 15 love. Just long by a little bit, as Tulin would have had an opportunity. He was in position to return that, but looked down. It was a couple inches long. Good call. And again, you got to love the sportsmanship, but you got to be honest out here, because as we talked earlier, there's enough people watching these matches. If you call something out that's not, then you're going to have the spectators maybe having a slight interjection.
Well, a whole bunch of referees, Jeff, but we got 30-15 for Tulin serving.
And it's great, even when you watch professional tennis, you have a lot of so-called experts in the stands. I guess that goes with just about any sport.
Now, when you hear the whistle, that's when they're a little upset.
A little forehand volley just comes up a little short as it hits the tape at the top. So Tulin on just a little bit of a roll in this game.
He's at 40-15, serving for game number 15, I'm sorry. Oh, 14, I was right the first time.
Never second guess yourself, Coach.
I know it. The sun's getting to me.
It is getting hot out here. Boy, I'll tell you, both of these people hitting drop shots and little dinks over the net, and it is just fun to watch this chess match transpire.
That was a nice little volley right there, Jeff. So we're going to make it 30-40-30, Tulin with the lead, and he'll be serving again one more time for the game.
Boy, I'll tell you, Tulin really had Morse on his heels there, played it perfectly, got that ball back at the net, made no mistake, just nice little soft shot into the open area on the floor, and Morse says, I'm not wasting energy to get to that shot.
And that, you know, the key to that right there, Jeff, I think was that big first serve. He got it in there the first time, and that was the key to that point, and he won that game, so we're up. He's down 8-6.
First serve again with great velocity, as now they ease up for the second shot to get it in. And again, forced to go to the backhand. If your feet are not in perfect position, your tendency is to come up a little bit short.
Yep. Love 15, Tulin in the lead here in game number 16, Jeff. Now, excuse me, game number 15. Morris is up 8 games to 6.
tied up at 15 apiece as a very nice setup shot that time by Morse, and Tulin a little bit long on the volley.
Yep, nice serve, good first serve, good return, Jeff. A little bit long and wide on the volley. 15-15 here in game number 15.
A lot of 15s.
15, I'm going to play that in the lotto tonight.
(30-15) as Morse takes the lead by a point in this game, and if he wins, that will put him one game away from the match championship.
Yep, and he is up serving 30-15, Jeff. Again, let's tell folks who they are. Nicholas Morris, the #1 player for Western in the far court, and right next to us in the near court, the #1 player for Garber, Trevor Tulin.
Boy, you just hear the slap on that first serve. Not always accurate, but if it is, it's a tough one to return.
They do, when they get their first serve in, Jeff, they've been very effective with it.
Is that 40-15?
Yeah, you're correct, 40-15. Morris. He will be serving for the game. If he wins this game, he will have 9 wins compared to 6 for Tulin.
A little long on that first serve, and boy, he put himself in a position for that thing to be an ace. What a great recovery and a nice shot that time by Tulin from Garber.
Yeah, Tulin stays alive, Jeff. 40-30 here in game number 15. Morris in the far court from Western High School. He is up 9 games to 6 over Tulin from the Essexville Garber Dukes.
Love the sportsmanship of these competitors. When you hit a great shot, boy, they just take a moment and say, hey, that was a great shot. I couldn't do anything with it.
And it was a good shot. He put it right where it had to be, and Morris couldn't get to it. Another good first serve, just a little bit long.
Oh, tied up at deuce as Tulin comes back big.
Yeah, big comeback. He was down 40-15, and he's at deuce right now. And Morris is serving at deuce, but a nice comeback for Tulin.
Boy, Tulin with 3 straight points to come back to advantage here. Yeah. Down 8-6. This is a must for Tulin. He doesn't want to get down 9-6.
Advantage, yeah, he's already down 9, or he is down 8-6. You're right, Jeff. He does not want to get down, and advantage. Tulin comes back. Great point when you won the last 3 points. Nice job by Tulin.
Again, just some nice long volleys waiting for the opponent to make a mistake, as these competitors don't make a lot of mistakes.
Oh, nice. That's going to go advantage to Morris, Jeff. It was deuce. Advantage Morris here in game number 15. That was a nice long volley. And
nope, that's game.
Oh, is it game? No, it's advantage Morris.
Okay.
Yeah, advantage Morris. It was 40-40.
Sun must be getting to me.
looks like, no, that must have been back to deuce again, Jeff. So it's going to be Morris with the advantage. So that was deuce. This is back to advantage for Morris.
Well, we'll find out. I hope he chirps it out for us this time.
Is that? Deuce. Back to deuce. A little bit long on that volley right there, Jeff. So we're going to go back to deuce. Nicholas Morris up 9-6 here in game number 15. The number one players from the Essexville Garber Dukes is Trevor Tulin and Nicholas Morris from Bay City Western.
This match has done nothing to disappoint us, boy. They told us this would be a good match, and it has lived up to its billing.
Yeah, it has been a great match, Jeff, and double fault right there by Nicholas Morris of Bay City Western. Tulin will have the advantage here in game number 15. He's down 9-6 in the number one singles match at the Bay County Tennis Tournament.
Morris serving to Tulin as he's able to get that first serve in. And a great shot returned by Tulin as he brings that thing to the back line. As Tulin is trying to work his safe back into this match. Morris trying to bring it back to deuce.
Advantage Morris here, Jeff. And, you know, the heat might be getting to these young athletes. They look like they're a little bit tuckered out, so we'll get some water in them here pretty soon, right after the next game. So advantage Morris here in game number 15.
We might be at deuce. Let's see.
Yep. I thought it was. Morris.
I've been there, Coach. That just shows that we're both excellent, but not perfect. Now we're back to advantage Morris.
Now we're back to advantage Morris. Correct.
So on the brink of elimination 3 different times, yes. 2 straight points by the person down, bring it to the advantage the other way, and the seesaw battle continues.
And this is exactly what we were told by the person running the tournament, Jeff. He said, you're going to love watching the number ones here from Garber and Western, and we have not been disappointed.
As they go back to deuce again, neither one of these players gave it an inch.
No, this has been a long game here in game number 15, Jeff. And remember, Tulin was down 40-15 at one time in this point, so he's got it back to deuce and looking to go add in here in game number 15.
I think over the next couple of games, mistakes will become a little more prevalent as fatigue has certainly become a factor with these players, and it'll go back to advantage Morris as he had a great drive on the back line that Tulin had trouble handling.
Yeah, good first serve by Morris of Bay City Western, Jeff. Tulin just hit the tape, couldn't get it over, so it'd be advantage Morris, Bay City Western.
Boy, and making no mistake, finally, that is one of the longest single games that I have seen in a long time. It's finally going up 9-6 as Nicholas Morris will have an opportunity to win as they'll switch ends. We'll take a break as well and be back right after this on BCTV.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. We've got 25 employees who depended on it, and that's all that mattered to me. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. Incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance.
Plum Harris Insurance Agency in Bay City is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Yep, Tulin is down, Jeff, 6-9 here in game number 16. Morris wins this. He will win the match against Tulin from Essexville Garber.
Tulin again with that first powerful serve coming up just a little bit short, and I know both these competitors are really hoping that that first serve stays in.
Yeah, they try to get that first one in, Jeff. That's the goal. And the second one, like you said, a little bit less on it, just to make sure they don't get that double fault. That one just a little bit wide by Trevor Tulin of Essexville Garber.
Boy, what a great return of an awesome serve.
That was a great first serve, Jeff, but Morris with a nice return. It's love 30 in favor of Morris, 2 points away from ending this match.
Just out and wide. It's 15-30 right now. Again, Morse trying to win this championship. Tulin needs to come up with 4 straight wins to come back in this match.
Yep, 15-30. Nice job by Trevor getting back in this match. He'll be serving at 15-30, and this is game number 16 here in the number 1 singles match.
Again, I'll tell you, I got to give Morse the sportsmanship award every time Tulin has made a great shot. He's commented what a great position shot that was.
That was a really nice serve, Jeff. Right on the line. Looked like an ace from up here from our vantage point. We got it tied up at 30-30. Good return. Nice job by Tulin right there, Jeff. It makes it 40-30. Tulin with the lead over Morris. Morris wins this match. He can win the win the number 1's match, but you know, Tulin just hanging around, not going anywhere.
Again, as Tulin is serving for game point. And it's 9-6 right now, so it's now or never for Tulin.
Yeah, he's cannot lose this game, Jeff. I'll go to Morris, but 40-30, Tulin with the lead.
Again, Tulin being forced to go to the backhand, and again, as you try and get into position, your feet aren't perfectly placed, and that shot has a tendency to come up short.
I think we're at deuce, if I'm not mistaken, right, Jeff?
Yes.
40-40 right now, deuce. And Morris with the 9-6 lead here for the Bay City Western Warriors, number 1 tennis player.
I wasn't certain. That thing almost sounded like it ticked the net, but apparently not.
I thought it hit the net too, but Morris said no. So advantage 2-1 from Essexville Garber. Double fault by Tulin, back to a deuce, and a big break right there for Morris, Bay City Western.
And again, with this match taking as long as it has in this hot sun, fatigue is definitely mental and physical at this point.
You're absolutely right. That's a good point. It's been a long match, Jeff. It's very hot, and kids are still playing pretty strong, but it's been a long match. Very, very taxing.
Another great serve that time by Tulin. Tough to, as it went right inside the body, so you got to try and move one way or another to make a forehand or backhand. Couldn't come up with a strong return.
Yeah, it looks like we're back to deuce here in this match, Jeff. This is game number 16.
Maybe advantage Tulin. I'm not positive right now. We'll wait and see. Again, as you look at how tough this is for the competitors, and we're trying to keep up as well. I'm guessing we're back at deuce.
I think we are.
First serve comes up just short of getting over the net.
Just a little bit short, Jeff. Second serve coming to Tulin. Here we're back at deuce.
As it's just outside that singles line. So I believe back to advantage Tulin.
I would say you're absolutely correct. Advantage Tulin. Game number 16 in this #1 singles match, Jeff.
This has turned into a marathon with neither one of these kids giving an inch.
They don't want to go anywhere. Oh, that one just hit the tape. That was a nice looking first serve.
Boy, a perfectly placed shot to go back to deuce by Morse.
Yeah, nice job by Morris. Little drop shot right over the net, and Tulin couldn't get there quick enough, so we're back to deuce. And Tulin still serving.
I have seen a couple of the longest games that I have ever witnessed in tennis here in this match. These are two equally competitive people.
You can see why they're #1, Jeff. They play very well. And as long as this game is going, they're really in pretty good shape. We thought they might be getting a little tight. I'm sure they are, but overall, I think they're playing fairly strong for this long.
Well, you and I are tired just watching them, but these are 17-year-old kids, and they just push the go button.
Do you remember when you were 17?
Vaguely.
Yeah, me too. It's a long time ago.
Back to deuce we go, as we have got a seesaw battle. That's just like us going to the old playground, sitting on that seesaw going back and forth, and we went wee all the way home, as Morse and Tulin are just doing it up here.
My Lord. Yeah, it's been back and forth, and we'll check the time, but I think we're going on an hour plus here, Jeff. Hour and a half almost.
As I don't know if there's any such thing in these preliminary rounds as a time limit. I did not ask that when we talked to Joe Ricard before the match started. might be back to advantage Tulin.
I think that game went to Tulin, Jeff. Yeah, Tulin, he had the advantage in that game, and that game went to Tulin, so he stays alive. But Nicholas Morris is up 9-7, and Nicholas will be serving for the match.
9-7, no ball.
Big first serve. Big first serve right there. That's a good way you want to start when you're serving for the match, Jeff. Big first serve right there for Nicholas of Bay City Western.
15 love.
Well, I'll tell you, Morse is saving his best for last as he's had 2 tremendous first serve in.
Yeah, that's definitely a big advantage. Good return by Tulin, but 30 love here. More serving for the match. Match point.
Oh, there wasn't even a moment's hesitation on that, Coach. 40 love. Again, you're correct. Match point here potentially. Just long.
Second.
Long.
Oh.
That is game, that is set, and
match.
Wow. So we'll take a quick break and come back as we'll put the wraps on this event in just a moment here on BCTV.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
Back here in our post-match wrap-up for Bay County TV at the 2017 Boys Tennis Championships here at the Midland Tennis Center. I think it's pretty safe to say, Mike, we were wowed by what we saw today.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, Jeff, to see this beautiful complex and all these tennis players from Bay County, and we just saw a really good singles match between Trevor Tulin of Essexville Garber and Nicholas Morris of Bay City Western. What a great match, and that thing went 17 games.
Well, again, here our first opportunity at the Tennis Center. Win-win for everybody because first and foremost, these matches should be done by about 3 o'clock today and miss the extreme heat of the late afternoon that playing singles and doubles at 2 sites would have presented in Bay County.
Yeah, it would have been a challenge, Jeff, playing at Garber and Glen. So take your hat off to Joe Ricard, getting it over here, getting all the games in time, getting it done before the real hot weather sets in. But we saw a good doubles match between the Western Warriors and Bay City Central. Western coming away with a big win there. And then we saw a great singles match with Tulin and Morris. And you know what? It was a pleasure and an honor for us to come out here and watch these high school kids play tennis.
Coach, I continue to be amazed with what an aficionado of tennis that you have become in your time here.
Well, I watch it. I do love watching it, Jeff. I watch it on TV on ESPN. They do a great job covering it, and it's a great game and a lot of fun to watch. And this was a good experience for both of us. And Bay County TV is very happy that we could be able to do this and bring some tennis to our viewers.
Well, in the extreme heat and conditions, that about puts the wraps on another great event here on Bay County TV. Best of luck all season long to all these boys tennis competitors. And remember, next Friday we have got Hemlock and Pinconning. We'll be at the Natatorium at Saginaw Valley for the Bay County girls swimming championships, then a week after with more football at Garber, and then we'll be up doing cross country as well, as we're going to do the full gambit of sports we can this fall.
We're going to be a little bit busy in the next few weeks, but you know what? We love it, and we love bringing it to our viewers, Jeff, and I really truly hope that they love watching it as much as we love bringing it to them.
On behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan, along with Mike Guazdala and Natalie Doan. Did an awesome job again today. Have a great day, and we'll look forward to talking with you soon.
We'll see you again.